Hi, my fellow target individuals of patriotic Americans. I am doing this update status video on YouTube to tell you how I'm doing in some real talk. I'm sorry, Roy E. Cups, that I wasn't able to continue watching your video. My mom is going to get home soon, and she doesn't like it when I talk about certain things, and I've been told by my fellow target individual friends that I shouldn't talk about target individual stuff around my mom. And I tried to tell my mom that I was a target individual. I even bought her a book, and she wouldn't look at it. And the book was written by a psychiatrist or a psychologist. She's an LPN psychologist. And she wouldn't look at it because she's a narcissist. My friend Maja. No, Maya. I don't know why I keep on thinking that her name is Maja. I think it's because the Maya is spelled like J, because the J in German and in many European languages is pronounced a Y and not a J. Maya Horvath, she goes by other names. She told me that my mom had narcissistic personality disorder and or borderline personality disorder, and I was looking up these terms she told me to look at, and I looked at them, and it did sound like my mom was a narcissist. I don't know if she has borderline personality disorder. She doesn't seem to be a person that has personality issues. She has possessive issues and narrow-minded issues. She acts like a sanctimonious, pious, pompous, pious, and callous asshole. She is a narcissist for sure. And I'm not allowed to talk to you at all about this kind of stuff, target individuals, even UFOs and extraterrestrials, because she is loony about it. My mom told me that I was a conspiracy theorist when I was a teenager, and that's why the military wouldn't want to be working with me. They wouldn't want to recruit me. For some reason, my mouth and stuff has been dry today. And I've also been having a headache as well. All that combined with housework has not been helping me at all with my target individual situation. I'm going to try to make a introduction video to me because I'm starting out new on YouTube, because this is the first time I've actually been using YouTube frequently and trying to build up a good YouTube channel. I should write down some things that are the most important aspects of my target individual life. For some reason right now I feel hot. I don't know why I feel hot all of a sudden. I think I should get evidence that I'm being hit with a microwave weapon. Maybe that's what I'm being hit with, a microwave weapon. I'll get my meter out. Narcissists don't like it when people talk about stuff that they don't believe and agree with. And that's why I can't do a lot of stuff. Mom's dog is barking. I'm wondering if my mom is home. No, she ain't. Usually the dogs start barking when my mom and my brother are home. My friend Tara Potter, she told me to get this from Walmart website. She told me if it gets over 0.13, but I think that it should be more like 0.15. I don't think 13 is high enough to be considered evidence that we're being hit. Sometimes the radiation in our environment spikes up a little bit on certain days, especially on hot summer days. The summer heat, that is the radiation from the sun, can sometimes amplify different types of electromagnetic energy in the environment, and that includes microwaves. And also the sun emits microwaves. That's why it's yellow, because microwaves are the color yellow. Just like ultraviolet is the color purple, and that's why it's called ultraviolet, because violet is the color purple, and ultraviolet is a color purple that is super purple, and it's in the spectrum of light called ultraviolet light is super purple light. And I'm going to get evidence on my YouTube channel with this video using this that I'm being hit with a microwave direct energy weapon. And that's why I feel like shit right now. Oh, it just went to number 1 after I accidentally had my hand on its detector spot. Why am I ticklish right there where I put it at? That's weird. .26 microwaves per meter square. That's evidence I mean hit. I usually don't make these videos when I'm on period because I feel like shit on my period, but I'm feeling even worse than what I should, no matter if I'm on my period or not. This headache is ridiculous. 0.24. Most of the time when I get hit, I'm getting high readings. That's 1.00 or 2.00. Oh, I should have pressed the button to hold for the data on that one. 0.36. 0.43. 0.33, and no, the Freemasons didn't make that number. I know that some people are mentally insane that they think that there's synchronicities and shit like that. Well, not everything's a synchronicity. And the Freemasons don't own, nor do they have a patent to the number 33. The number 33 was already special before the Freemasons adopted it to be their special little effing number. And I've been having allergies frequently, and I'm wondering if it's the chemtrails going up my nose. They're the stratospheric aerosol injections. That's what the chemtrails are actually called by the government, stratospheric aerosol injections, or atmospheric aerosol injections. I wonder if they're spraying something that causes sinus problems, and that's probably yes. I seen a big chemtrail today, and I know I wasn't going outside today for anything because I was on my period anyways, but especially when looking at that. 0.54. 0.97. What the fuck? They're putting negative thoughts in me with synthetic telepathy. They don't do V2K on me as much anymore because they realize that I have ways to block the V2K, but they decided that they're going to put thoughts in my head and they're going to tell me with the thoughts instead. That's because I found a way to mitigate the V2K. They're doing EEG heterodyning on me as well. They're doing forced speech and dream manipulation on me. Trying to get better readings. 0.660 on that one. Surprised I'm not getting higher readings than this, especially on this side of the head. 0.44. I think they're doing more of the, like, making the frequencies like fiberglass. They're trying to use less frequencies to make me feel like shit. Maybe that's what they're doing right now. I have no idea. My stomach is upset a little bit. I wonder if that's they're doing. No. It's not very high. Evidently, it's probably my period that's made me feel more like shit than their attacks. What was I going to talk about? But I was thinking about talking to you guys about today. Oh, they told me that I shouldn't be allowed to fantasize about men because it's adultery. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in adultery. Most of us, before we get into a relationship with somebody, we're already thinking about having sex with them. And that means fantasizing about having sex with them, doing the entire visuals, pretending to have sex with them in our heads. That is, if you're able to make images in your head like an artist does. I'm an artist and I can make images in my head. I can make images of men in my head and pretend that I'm having sex with those images by making an image of myself to have sex with the image of the man that I like in my head. It's like a video game where I have a video game character that I do things with the NPCs that represent real life people in my head. I have also virtual reality, high def, resolution, hyper realistic graphics that I can generate with my head, and it looks exactly like real life stuff. I fetishize men that are in the United States military, and I fantasize about having sex with men in uniform, with them having their uniform on and everything. I wanted to become President of the United States of America and fantasize about it. and I fantasize about having a first man, husband, having sex with me in the White House, and he's a military soldier, and he's in his military uniform, and he has sex with me while he's in his uniform. And, he's also could be having sex with me in something else, like, a night robe or a bathrobe that has the American flag on it, with some very generic patriotic American saying on it. Like, fuck yeah, USA, American Dream, I'm a sexy American man. It did that kind of stuff to say on it. Or if he's in his military uniform, he takes his shirt off and he just wears the military uniform's jacket part of it, the button shirt part of it, and he has that taken off to see his chest and stuff. And they kept on telling me that I'm doing adultery or I am raping that man by thinking about having sex with him when he's not even a real dude at all. This man in my head, he's not a real dude. He's a combination of men that I've seen on TVs and movies. He's a combination of, well, let's just say too many men to count that I mixed up and made this pretend fictitious man in my head. Totally not adultery, totally not rape. He's a fictional character. He's no different than an anime character or a cartoon character or a video game character. He don't have fucking rights. And what they were telling me was a demented thing a demented nutcase would tell somebody. This is also why people are saying that there's pedophilia in anime. People are saying that anime characters shouldn't look like lollies. They shouldn't look like little girls if they're adult women, and that they shouldn't make anime where a teenage girl falls in love and gets married to an adult man. Back in the day, the age of consent was lowered because the life expectancy of human beings were lower. And there's a lot of anime that takes place in feudal Japan and feudal era Europe, where adult men had to marry and impregnate teenage girls because a teenage girl was considered a woman in those days, and she had the responsibility and right to give birth to her bloodline lineage. Or everybody will go extinct, humanity will go extinct because there is nobody breeding new humans into existence. And we have the right to make TV shows, movies, and cartoons that are historical in order to teach ourselves about what happened in the old days. Even if what happened in the old days would be considered very immoral and very unnecessary in today's age. But as soon as these nutcases, these woke nutcases, these people that think they're white knights that are activists fighting for human rights, these nut fucking cases that are demented social justice warrior activists come into anime or even come into the historical fiction communities, they say this is pedophilia because this adult man had sex with and impregnated a 15-year-old girl in this movie, TV show, or anime, and that's pedophilia. No, it isn't. For one, nobody's actually getting pregnant. The actress, she didn't get fucking pregnant. She has a pillow in her, or it is a prompt that makes her look like she's pregnant, and everything is an act. It's factitious. It's not real. Just like drag queens aren't real women, all because the man puts on something that makes him look like he has boobs and shit doesn't mean he's a real woman. These people are devoid from reality. That's what they are. I'm having a fucking horrible time putting up with and trying to cope with an artificial intelligence being programmed by woke government federal agents, or God forbid something like an alien, but it probably is the government, by government agencies, personnel that are woke social justice warrior white knight activists who think that if a person thinks about having sex with another person, even if the person's not real, it's rape or adultery. Yes, I've committed adultery before, and it was on a TV show character that was married. Movie character, fictitious character that's married, but they don't really have rights, so it's not really adultery. And also, men fantasize. This is a sick thing. Men fantasize about having sex with other women that are possibly married, and they don't get put on the spot for it if people know that they're doing it. And that doesn't mean that the government has the right to torture a man because he's thinking about having sex with a woman that's probably married. He still has the right to his bodily autonomy and Fourth Amendment rights to privacy. The government doesn't have the right to use synthetic telepathy and V2K, no-touch torture, psychotronic technology to punish a man for committing adultery. That is what a Christian, fascist, lunatic government would do. That's a theocracy that would have this technology. And I think the people that are doing this to me probably are Christian nut jobs, theocratic, divine right to rule nut jobs who want to make our country like the Roman Vatican, a theocratic, divine right to rule government, and they want to punish people for just thinking a certain way about a certain person or about a certain thing. People have the right to think whatever they want to think, no matter how naughty it is. Just as long as they don't actually do it, everything is fine. And you know what? If you don't let people think whatever the hell they want to think, they're going to most likely do what they want to think in action. The reason for why a lot of people don't do stupid and horrible stuff is because they think about doing it, and then when they think even more, they think that it's not a good idea to do it. That's what a man does when he thinks about having sex with a woman that's already married. And he knows it, or he probably doesn't know it. But still, he thinks it through after he thinks about having sex with the woman. And then he thinks it through even more, and he realizes it's not a good idea to have sex with this woman because I found out she was married. That's why thinking is a right, because it helps people with their judgment and decision-making skills. And also, there's such thing as polyamory and polygamy, where the man has multiple spouses or people have multiple spouses. And there would be less adultery and cheating in the world if people became more tolerant and open-minded that polyamory and polygamous marriages are natural and that you can love more than one person. It's natural in nature, both for animals and human beings, to have multiple partners. When a man dies and his woman becomes a widow, she's going to get another partner because that's what a low-life piece of shit would want his woman not to find love after he dies. Well, what's the difference between that and a woman having two lovers, two boyfriends at the same time that are alive? It's like saying that one man has to die in order for the other to get with the woman, and that's stupid. That is very fucking stupid. That's what Christians, Catholics, Muslims, and Jews, mostly Abrahamic religions, say, that a woman can have another husband just as long as her husband dies. Usually a natural causes in order for her to get with another man. That's stupid. And that causes emotional turmoil and strife. A woman and a man has the right to have more than one lover, and they should not have to wait for their lover to die, or their lover shouldn't have to die in order for them to get another one. That's stupid. And that's also the reason why witches that were burned at the stake were actually good, normal widows, and that the Christians thought that these women killed their husbands in order to get with another man because they didn't like their husbands because their husbands didn't treat them well, or it wasn't their choice to be with them when some of that is actually the case, and women should have had more bodily autonomy and was given the right to fall in love with whatever man she wanted to fall in love with. And it also is the case for men. They were also forced in prearranged marriages too, and they hated a lot of the experience of being with a woman they were forced to get into a marriage with back in the day. Forcing somebody to love somebody and to have children with somebody, that's fucking evil. Just like it's fucking evil to force a person to have thoughts in their head, to force somebody to do something against their will with V2K, synthetic telepathy, e.g. heterodyning, and microwave direct energy weapons, causing pains, headaches, and cancers in a targeted individual's body. I'm wondering if my mom's home. She probably is. Talk to you later. I can't talk to you anymore. My fellow targeted individuals. My narcissistic bitch ass mom is home. And she won't let me talk about this stuff with you. And I think that the dogs are barking because my mom and my brother just got home, and they get home at 8 o'clock p.m. and it's already been almost 30 minutes since I made this video, meaning they probably are going to be home soon if they're not already in the driveway already. Unless they're taking their merry time when getting inside. I didn't think that they were going to go to Kroger's today. My mom would have told me that on Messenger. Yeah, I hear her voice. She's definitely home. The dogs aren't barking at nothing. There's probably is a car, and it's her car in the driveway. I wish I was able to talk to you more. I guess I have to wait a few more days when she and my brother are not home and are at work to make another YouTube video. Talk to you later. Take care and have a good night.